Development Programs for Civil Society Organization by TAG. Before starting our program, I would like everyone to join us for National Anthem. Participants, today we have amazing guest faculty, Shri R.M.G. Jawahar. Mr. Jawahar he is Executive Director, Tiruchirappalli Regional Engineering College, Science and Technology Engineering Park, TAG. At first, I request to Dr. Subhashan Sharma kindly welcome to Dr. Shri R.M.P. Jawahar. Thank you, sir. Mr. Jawahar is President Asian Association of Business Incubators, AABI. Mr. R.M.P. Jawahar has a rich and rewarding development experience spanning more than 3 decades in the area of innovation, development, incubation of knowledge like ventures, technology skills, etc. has partnered with many reputed organizations such as World Bank, European Union, United Nations Development, etc., United Nations Industry Development Organization and other international organizations. He is Honorary President of Asian Association of Business Incubators, AABI. He has been awarded the International Champion of Business Incubation Award 2006 by UKBI as its first ever recipient. He has also served in the various committees such as Chairman of the International Working Group of Incubators, Commonalities by the Global Business Incubator National Network of National Association of Business Incubators, as a member of the CII National Committee of Technology and Innovation, member of the National Advisory Committee of Staff and Technology Business Incubator, and member of the Board of Governance of many other organizations engaged in innovation and incubation development initiatives. Under his leadership, TAG has received many awards and emerged as one of the acclaimed staff business incubator in India and abroad today, promoting more than 400 startup ventures. Now I want to give a brief intro of Dr. Subhashan Sharma also. He dedicated a long journey of 40 years of professional life to develop entrepreneurship among the society by serving through various institutions of India like Rajasthan Consultancy Organization Limited, Rajkot, Jaipur, Haryana Delhi Industrial Consultants Limited, Hardikon, New Delhi, faculty in Madhav Institute of Technology and Science, MITS, Gwalior, faculty in Entrepreneurship and Management Development Development Institute EMI, Rajasthan, Jaipur, and Chairman R.K. Sansthan. He is one among the first trainer motivator to conduct entrepreneurship development program for S&T persons in Rajasthan and been awarded for best paper presentation on issue of entrepreneurship by EDI Ahmedabad. The founder of R.K. Sansthan and presently presides over as chairman of Sansthan. Sansthan flourished and established its recognition all over Rajasthan in the field of entrepreneurship. The endeavors in the field of entrepreneurship was also recognized by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India at national level and awarded to promote innovative enterprise in Rajasthan. Apart from that has the strong presence of other areas like art and culture, social service, environment, literature and social networking also. These are the brief intro of both dignitaries with us. Now I request to Shri RMP Jawahar, Executive Director, Tech Step, kindly overview of capacity building and Tech Step interaction.
And formally give your inaugural address also. I will sit here, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Preeti. First of all, let me extend a very warm good morning to all of you. Dear Dr. Subhash Sharma ji, R.K. Sansthan team, dear civil society organizations from all over Rajasthan. It is indeed my great pleasure to stand before you. Why I say it's a great pleasure, it is also a great honor to be standing before you because civil society organizations, as you know, they are the people who work with the people. So I think people who work with people are today more important. We have governments who regulate people, who bring laws for people, who do some welfare schemes also for people. That is one type of organizations. We have the central state government, we have the local authorities who get connected to the people in terms of enforcing power, in terms of doing some welfare schemes. And then we have another type of organizations called industries who treat people as customers, who deal exchanges, value exchanges with customers. So that is another type of organization. These two organizations are very popular. What is not popular is civil society organizations, NGOs, education institutions, and a lot of social service organizations who are neither industry nor government, but who work with the people, who serve the people, who bring welfare to the people, who are connected to the people. If the government wants to do welfare to the people, it is you, the champions of change, champions of reach to the people who should be addressed, who should be appreciated, who should be nurtured, and whose capacities need to be constantly improved as the capacities of people who work in industries, as the capacities of people who work in government gets improved. Because the last mile reach for the people is through the civil society. You reach people who are not so far reached or people who are unreachable. So European Union, recognizing that, the importance of civil society organizations to reach the last mile people, felt that if you want to do development, if you want to bring change to society, the civil society organizations are very, very, very important. It will not be enough if you have very efficient governments, because government has a dual role of regulation as well as government has some welfare schemes to be brought to the people. Governments have limited span of time, especially in a democratic phase. Their policies change frequently. And then we have the industries who have to be commercial in nature, because the very essence of industry is to earn profit. In that way, they also do a lot of development to the people. They bring in a lot of jobs. They bring in tax revenue for the government. So the industries are also important. But what is left out is genuine, dedicated institutional mechanisms called civil society organizations, which have welfare alone as their objectives. So you are the people who have the welfare alone as your objectives, and you serve the people, you serve the society. But unfortunately, what happens is that the capacity development program for these section of the people, the networking potential, the enabling of these people has been left to lurch. It's not taken care by any special institutional mechanism. Therefore, there is a need for dedicated action for bringing capacity development for civil society organizations in order to enable them to grow, in order to enable them to be more effective. Because when the civil society organizations are going to be more efficient and more enabled and more resourceful in terms of skills, in terms of money, in terms of access, in terms of whole set of capacities, then there is a possibility for the government to deliver more, then there is a possibility for the industry to benefit more, then there is a possibility for society to grow fast. So that is the whole idea of this project. So European Union across the world, in many countries, especially in the developing world, has been promoting civil society organizations. One of the initiatives is this initiative where they are promoting civil society organizations in this country, our country, India, for civil society organizations to go into women and enterprise development, women development. As you know, women is another group of, I can say, minorities who are left out in the process of development normally. Their needs become secondary. Their role in decision making is often overpowered by the established norms. Their force, their capacities are grossly underutilized. They have been more homemakers. They are not society makers, as they can be very easily. If women can make home, they can make societies as well. So the next thing, which is very important on the European Union agenda, is to enable women. As you know, in India, the labor participation of women has been dwindling over the years. It is getting reduced over the years. So this is an alarming situation. If 50% of our population is not being utilized to the extent it has to be utilized, then we have the capacities which are grossly underutilized. Then we have capacities which are not used for the fruitful development of the country. Therefore, we need to develop mechanism to develop, the empower, to enable women also. So that's the second objective of this program. As you know, the third objective of the program, which is very, very calling, is the climate change. Climate change, as you know, is a very, all of you know, climate change brings in a lot of disastrous effect to the human society. But when the disaster strikes, it doesn't strike the rich and poor at the same level. The poor are affected more dearly, more more disastrously than the rich. Because the rich, for them, it is inconvenience. For poor, it's a wiping out of their livelihoods, their job, their earning potential, their health, their habitats. So everything is lost for the poor. So the effects of climate change is very, very more pronounced disastrously for vulnerable section of the people. So climate change has to focus on these sections of the people. So we have the CSOs, who are the change champions for the society. We have women who have great potential to contribute nation. And we have a cause called climate change, which needs all of them to come together. The CSOs, the women, come together to address the climate change issues. And that is the objective of this program. This program is called Gender Enabling Network of Innovation and Entrepreneurship of Civil Society Organization for Climate Venture. When we talk about women, Gender Enabling Network, Gender Enabling Initiatives, we also talk about climate venture, but what we have not talked about innovation and entrepreneurship. As you know, innovation and entrepreneurship, of late we have recognized, at least in this country, has great potential as change agents. Mere development, like teaching people to catch fish, is not enough. Giving people fish is not enough, food is not enough. It is very important to develop initiative in them to catch fishes, to look for opportunities, to fend for themselves. People in this country, at least as far as I know, they do not need freebies. They do not need charity. They do not need just money, getting money. They are offended by just getting money from others. They think they can earn their own livelihoods. They think they can live a that dignified life. They think they can be successful. They think they can be independent. So it is duty of the civil society organizations like us to enable people to stand on their own leg and not look for freebies and not look for dependence on others. And our people, our women, our society is ready for that today. They know that they can make money. Maybe 50 years back, 100 years back, the markets were not developed, information was not forthcoming. Many people who are marginalized might not know that they can develop into successful entrepreneurs. Today, every Tom, Dick and Harry in this country, in our society, which is developing, knows that they can be rich if they are provided some assistance. So I think civil society organizations has to take up that mantle and enable our people to become successful on their own. What happens is that if a woman becomes successful, she not only becomes successful, he inspires a lot of other women in the vicinity to become successful. If that fool can do it, I can also do it. That's what everybody thinks. If she can be successful, why not me? Why not my daughter? Why not my sister? So making a woman is more important, especially that because we think women are not capable. But women are more capable than men because their DNA itself is more enriched that they can create a life form. Men cannot create a life form. They can manage house very beautifully. Whatever we learn in management institutions, it is in the DNA of the women. They know quality control. They know HR by taking care of the family. They do budgeting and finance every day, every month. They take care of their family in terms of human resources, in terms of education, in terms of health of the elders and their babies, in terms of the health, this thing. So the women are born managers. You don't have to teach management to them. Maybe we can learn management from them. So they are the best people who can become entrepreneurs. If only they are allowed to become an entrepreneur. If only we do not stop them to become an entrepreneur. Because I know my mother, I've seen my sister, I've seen my wife, I'm seeing my daughter, and they very easily do double, triple jobs. But for me, doing one job, it's very difficult. Going to office itself, very difficult. But for my daughter, for my mother, for my wife, and not for my mother was not working, for my wife, for my sister, going to job and making home is not a problem at all. They can do it smoothly. So they are doubly empowered than men. So I think we are just wasting our greatest resource, the gender power. If only we can enable our gender power, then this 14% growth rate, 10% growth rate has no meaning. It will be 500% growth rate. It will be 1000% growth rate. But we are not allowing it. So civil society organizations have to become champions and supporting institutions for women to become successful. That once women become successful, they not only inspire their colleagues, their peers, their friends to become successful, but they also instill a success culture in the family. Once they are successful, they will ensure their children are successful, their grandchildren are successful. They will not stop their grandchildren and children by being complacent, by stopping somewhere. They will continuously motivate them to become successful. I mean success in terms of promoting innovation on the bench. Dear friends, my request is, so far we have been doing well for. We have been helping people, but that is not enough. Helping people who need something is not enough. Making people independent, making people as successful entrepreneurs, making people not to depend on anybody is more important. And that I am sure that only you can do it. Only the civil society organizations who have the... I don't think the government can do it. Government can only, the babus of the government, including people who are like us, who are semi-government people, we can only enact laws and rules. We are old, we are archaic. We are the icons of the past. And industry, they have their own objectives, which is to earn money, grow. They can't do it. They cannot make people successful. You can only make people successful. And I know all of you must be worried. Making ourselves successful is itself a big problem. Today, running a civil society organization is no joke. It is a very tough call. It is very difficult to run a civil society organizations today, because you'll have to make the ends meet, constantly look for resources, and off late you'll have to also satisfy some unreasonable regulations on our part, be it in FCRA and other areas. We have a lot of other challenges as well, and we have very dwindling resources. We do not have a lot of resources, but the competition between the civil society organizations are very big. For the same budget, there are more organizations who compete today. So there are a lot of problems for the CSOs to exist. But now, how do we make them, unless otherwise we become very successful, how do we make our own clients successful? That is a question in all of our minds. But the answer, I think, is not very difficult to this thing. The easiest thing is to create a win-win situations where you can create very successful cases of women becoming successful. That will bring in a lot of resources to us. The future, I would like to request you, the future is not grant-based finance alone. Grant-based finance has limited use. We'll have to look at other forms of finance where we'll have to blend various forms of finance to help enterprises grow and grow along with them. We have come to the age of using many forms of funds to facilitate welfare, to facilitate growth, to facilitate development. And innovation entrepreneurship is the best vehicle to do it. I think we will discuss how to do it, and we are with you. TechStep is very proud to be with you, because we are very thankful for two people here. One is the European Union, who gave us this chance amidst a very tough global competition. We were grateful that we were able to make this, and they were able to provide some resources. First of all, to meet with you, to talk to you, and maybe very closely work with you in the future. The second person I am very thankful is Dr. Subhash Sharma ji. We have been associated for the last 2 decades through Ministry of Science and Technology and other programs. I know the quality of work he is trying to do amidst challenges, and I am very proud of him as a friend. He has delivered value to the Department of Science and Technology, and he has delivered to us in the earlier UNDP project. I am very happy to be associated with him. Sir, I am very happy to be associated with RKSN sir also. I am sure that you had connected us to new friends, new CSOs. That is a very refreshing thing. We are working in 8 states under this project: Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, West Bengal and UP. Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, UP and West Bengal, 8 states. We have nearly 430 civil society organizations on board who have signed MOU with us to come together in the area of working in women, innovation, entrepreneurship and climate, because we think these areas, women, gender development, innovation, entrepreneurship and climate, are the future areas of growth for us and future areas where we can reach lot of dividends for the development for our society also. They are strategically very important area. So therefore, working in this area will be very productive, not only for civil society organizations, but also it will be very productive for the society. It will be very productive for society first of all, and CSOs will get adequate opportunities to work smoothly. More resources will be available. Only thing is, we need to reorient towards this. We'll have to reorient our thinking, because we are people who are meeting lot of problems every day and day. We do not get opportunities to develop ourselves. So we need to bring in experts from outside world to interact with us and see how the world is changing. I am sure that all of you are very qualified people, all of you are educated people. Only thing is, we need to open our windows and doors for fresh ideas, fresh knowledge to come in from other sectors, so that we can serve better. In this project, what we are doing is, we are bringing together a network of civil society organizations across India, and we are bringing together experts from various areas, experts from various management institutes, experts from various legal firms, experts from various policy-making governmental bodies, experts from various development organizations, and experts in civil society organizations to interact with us, to provide us new capacities, to provide us an opportunity to reorient our thinking to the changing world. Because sometimes what happens is, when we are confined to our own area, we do not know what is happening in other areas, what other people are doing. For me, the greatest lessons were what I learned abroad, because only when I go abroad I will be seeing an entirely new environment. In India we know what you are doing. So when you step out of your environment, we can see new things. That will trigger our brains. There is no need for you to learn anything new in terms of the basics, but there is always a need for you to reorient towards the changing world. For example, today metaverse is another area, AR, VR is another area, which is bringing a virtual reality. For example, in our own lifetimes we have seen reality is different from virtual side. Now, what has happened in the last 5-10 years, the virtual thing has become more real and the real thing has become virtual. So unless otherwise we reorient towards this world, we will not be able to maximize our profit. We will be left behind. And if we are left behind, our clientage, the society will be left behind. Therefore, it is very important to develop the capacities of the program. That is the aim of it. The third thing is, we can collectively come together and have a better access, reach and bargaining capacities for bringing more resources. That I think is the central thing why I am here. I reached here yesterday 12 o'clock. I have another program at Trichy, which is near Cape Comorin, the southernmost tip of the country, tomorrow. So I'll have to be traveling all night by train and mornings by 2 flights and a train to reach out here. I came here. I know that Subhash ji would be very capable of addressing all your needs. But then I came here because we are in a mission to create a future here along with you. We want to create a network of institutions who will be able to jointly access resources. If we individually access resources, there is a limitation. Because the investors will not be able to validate, will not be able to justify their commitments to a project. But if it is a group of institutions which are coming together with a variety of knowledge, then they have, I have seen, then they have better conviction to fund these collective projects. We will be in a better platform to talk. So we are creating a national network for climate innovation entrepreneurship in gender space, and I would like you to be part of this collective. It will give us new power. I will discuss with you how we can go about in the future. I'll get your ideas. I'm sure that I have few ideas, but you know thousands of ideas. All of you have thousands of ideas. So collectively, if you pool and select the best, we'll be the strongest force. With this few words, let me thank Subhash ji and RK Sanstan for giving me these opportunities. Let me thank all of you for your very patient hearing and time. With this, I am honored to inaugurate this capacity development program for the CSOs from Rajasthan. Thank you very much.